Hello, friends. Today's a sad, difficult day. Tiger, I've known, well, in the past week, I knew this day was coming. I have known something was wrong with Pepper for months now, but I have not been able to figure out what was wrong, and she died today. So I'm heartbroken. Pepper is the last of the 3 goats, it was triplets, that Bea had. Bea and her sister, not her sister, but another goat named Belle. I bought those 2. They were my very first Nubians I ever bought. And they were very special to me. I loved both of them. And they each died. Belle had to be put down. She had severe arthritis and it was getting worse. And that was really tough. Then a year and a half ago, it was actually Palm Sunday. So that would have been, I guess, 2018. Palm Sunday 2018, I lost Bea. And when I lost her, it was on a Sunday. And I had let the goats out to graze. And I took a nap, and they were staying on my property. They weren't really going anywhere. Well, I rested for less than an hour, and when I woke up, everybody was at my door. The herd was at the door, except Bea was not. I never saw Bea again. Her daughter, Pepper, was severely injured. And those injuries, talking to a lot of people who, the game warden and people who are into catching predators and stuff, I talked to several of those kind of people. Everybody 100% says Pepper's injuries were classic cougar, mountain lion attack. I know Bea would have protected everybody. She would get between me and Lawnmower when Lawnmower would challenge me. If I yelled at Lawnmower, Bea would get between us. I know Bea would do anything to save her daughter. She was the queen of the herd. And I believe Bea gave her life up for her daughter, protecting her daughter. Pepper had like road rash on her head. She had puncture wounds in her neck. She was blinded in one eye. I mean, there was some severe injuries. It's lucky she survived. I treated her. She seemed to recover, except she was permanently blinded in one eye. After everybody healed, and by the way, a cougar had been sighted at the time in the area. They can travel hundreds of miles. So I know a cougar east of here was killed a few months back. Don't know if it's the same one or not. But I moved on from that attack. I had always assumed Pepper would become queen when Bea had passed, but with being blinded in one eye, that she was visually disabled. Well, it came time to breed everybody, and Pepper was very healthy. And so I bred her. And then this spring, she is the one who stole Sydney's babies and then had her babies the same day. And one of those babies died, and so she was left with 3 that she was feeding. And she's always been a good producer. I didn't have any concerns. I did not milk her because of having the 3 babies. I thought, everything she's producing needs to go to those 3 babies, and I've got others I can milk. So I never milked her, but she was a great milker. Always gave me a lot of milk. Well, backtracking, the first time Bea kidded, she had triplets, and Pepper was one of them. There were 2 girls and 1 boy. I sold the boy, and the other girl mysteriously died. I don't know what she died of. Oh, yeah, I do. It was an intestinal blockage issue. And then, so Pepper was my last of that very first kidding, the very first Nubian babies born on this property. And Pepper's also was a very sweet goat. I love Pepper. She was in my favorites. And so, well, a few months ago, a couple months after the kidding, I started noticing Pepper was losing weight. And I assumed at the time it was strictly because she's feeding all these babies. But I also have had a frustration with my goats looking copper deficient, even when I copper them. And so I went and coppered everybody. I also started feeding Pepper when I would milk everybody. In the past, the goats I milked, I gave grain to eat while I milked them. Well, I started giving Pepper grain too, extra food, in addition to all the alfalfa I was feeding everybody. But she has continued to lose weight. I have dewormed her. I, gave her more copper. I dewormed her. I did everything I could think of. And she's just continued to lose weight. Nothing I was doing. It was like I was somebody seeing this goat would think I intentionally starved her. Yet I was giving her extra food. In the last month, I have seen her start declining more and more. In the last week, she got to the point where she couldn't stand up. And I had started letting everybody out to, try to separate them and feeding her. And in the last few days, she would eat just a very little amount, and then she would quit. And she couldn't even stand. So I knew this was coming. It's been very frustrating because I don't know what the problem is. Honestly, recently, I started wondering if the cougar attack might have given her a virus or something that was untreatable. I don't know. I don't know why this goat lost weight and literally starved to death. I don't know. She's skin and bones, which is extremely frustrating. And it's not like, I could take her to a vet or anything. They're extremely far away, and I don't have the funds for it either. And to sit there and get all this specialty, I've done it with other goats where I have given them paid for a huge amount of tests and come back with nothing. Everything's negative. And the vets, I did that with Belle, and the vet just said, well, everything's negative, but she just has arthritis. I've done it with other animals where the results, like with my dog Abraham, the results came back after Abraham was dead. It can take a long time. And honestly, at first I just thought the kids are draining her dry of nutrition, and I had bumped up her nutritional needs. So I don't know for sure what caused Pepper to decline so severely, but I came home from church, and when I went out there to feed everybody and make sure she had food and water, had to bring it to her, she had already passed. I'm sure the last few weeks have been brutally hot. Yesterday, I honestly, after going outside and doing the chores, filling up water tanks, cleaning out the pools, feeding, I didn't feel good. And I just went inside and sat there and drank water and stuff. I just did not feel good for a while. After a while, I started feeling better. Found out today somebody else was probably heat sick a few days ago, just throwing up really sick. And everybody was like, it's the heat. She was outside. It was the heat. She's not used to being outside that much. So I'm sure that exasperated Pepper's condition, but I don't think there was anything I could do to save Pepper. I tried. I, short of throwing thousands of dollars that I don't have at her, and then you have to consider, can you even ever breed the goat again? Can you, I have goats not to lose money, but for food, for, to get milk from, to earn income from. But especially the number one thing is to get milk, and if you can't get milk out of a goat, they're not pets. So I just wanted to share that with you. Not everything is fun and on the homestead. Not everything is, sometimes bad things happen and you just have to go on. I called my wonderful neighbor and he helped me move her body. The reality here is you don't bury animals. I cannot bury an animal unless they're incredibly small. I buried a cat, but even there, you don't bury him. You pile stuff on top because I can't bury. It's just physically impossible. Even my septic system isn't buried. Pipes are not buried. Nothing is buried here. And so I let nature do what nature does. We took her body and dumped it in a place I take animals that have died, and nature will take care of it. That's the reality here. And I just have to live with it. I cannot bury an animal. It's just not, it's just impossible. I would have to get a jackhammer. I'd have to own a jackhammer and spend weeks digging holes. It's not practical. So the wild animals, the vultures, etc., will take care of her body. In fact, they've already showed up. It's so hot here that I've already seen them start to show up. So that's my reality. It's a sad day. Basically I keep losing the goats I love the most, my favorites. And of all the does, I really don't, I have good does. They're not my favorites. I don't have any more favorites. So we'll see what happens next year as, well, first of all, I'm trying to sell some because I do have too many, but maybe I won't sell. I don't know what I'm going to do now that I've lost Pepper. But I still have too many. But, maybe a new favorite will show up. Usually it has to do with personality and milk production and things like that. So, well, I just wanted to share that with you. I know it's a bummer. It's been a very sad day. But life goes on. And I've just got to, you can't dwell on these things. I did what I could. I don't know what else I could have done because I don't know what caused her to die. So, well, sorry about the bummer video. I hope you're having a better day than me. And I hope you have a great week. You take care.